The first time I stepped into Aunt Charlotte's apartment, I was greeted by an overwhelming sense of coziness and character. It felt like one of those stylish, old-school places that had been filled with memories over the years. The walls were lined with vibrant art, mismatched in the best way possible, and there was a faint scent of lavender in the air. Charlotte herself, a lively woman with an unmistakable spark in her eye, met me at the door with a smile that was warm and welcoming. "Ah, you must be the handyman they sent over. Come in, don't be shy," she said, waving me in. There was something playful in her tone, and I found myself both charmed and a bit taken aback. She wasn't like the usual clients who kept things strictly business. No, Aunt Charlotte, though I learned she preferred just Charlotte, had a way of making you feel like you were old friends, even if you'd just met. As I began to set up my tools, she hovered nearby, watching with an amused look. "I hope you're prepared for this old sink," she joked, her eyes twinkling. "It's stubborn, just like me." I laughed, a bit flustered. "I'll do my best, Charlotte. Sinks are my specialty." From that first interaction, I could tell Charlotte wasn't the type to just sit quietly in the background. She had a lively, teasing way about her, which made working there surprisingly enjoyable. But little did I know, this would be no ordinary repair job. As the hours passed, I learned more about Charlotte's personality, whether she intended to reveal it or not. She was witty, charming, and had a mischievous streak that kept me on my toes. Underneath that humor, though, there was something else, a touch of loneliness, maybe. She covered it well, but I could sense it in the little sighs and the way her laughter lingered just a second too long. Charlotte wasn't just some aunt to everyone, she was clearly a character in her own right. I found myself respecting her resilience and wit, but there was something more, an undeniable curiosity that was pulling me in. Charlotte's stories about her youth, her travels, and the antics she got up to were fascinating. Every time she laughed at one of her own jokes, I found myself smiling, too, almost against my will. And yet, I had to remind myself to keep things professional. I was here to fix a sink, not to get swept up in her charm. But Charlotte had a way of bridging that gap. Every time I thought about pulling back, she'd say something that drew me in closer, making me feel like I was the one missing out if I didn't engage. With every moment that passed, there was this growing tension in the room. It wasn't anything overt, just little things that made me second-guess. The way she'd catch my eye and smile, the way she'd reach out to brush a stray bit of dust off my shoulder. It was all innocent enough, but something about it made my heart race in a way I hadn't anticipated.